Welcome to Something More to Podcast, where we move through topics wherever the conversation takes us. I'm your host, Adam Culbertson.
And I'm Richard Collins.
Going to dive right into it. General Soleimani.
Yeah, kind of has taken over the news, and for good reason. There's a lot of reasons for people to be concerned about what's going on. There's definitely not a lot of good that's coming out of all of this.
No.
If anything, it's all of the work that's gone into trying to, come to a agreeable place with Iran is just kind of up in flames at this point.
Yeah. Well, Trump and the GOP weren't doing anything to help it at all before this or anything. What Trump pulled out of the nuclear deal,
agreement. Mm-hmm.
The nuclear agreement 18 months ago.
Oh yeah. It was a while ago. Actually, was it only 18 months? Wasn't it it was May of 2018, wasn't it?
Maybe. It might have been. I thought it was 18 months ago. But I could be wrong.
I'm thinking it's been a little longer. Not drastically, 20 months. I know I'm splitting hairs here, but
but anyways, Europe was hanging on with Iran. Iran was already starting to not want to go through with stuff, but they were still trying to stick with the agreement. But then they're like, no, we're not, and we're not sticking to this agreement anymore.
Right, and it's not to say that it was perfect. It's not like they had completely forgone any kind of hostility whatsoever. Yes, they were still absolutely doing stuff with local militias and other countries. They were still funding a lot of fighting and war and everything else elsewhere.
We are too.
Absolutely. We've been doing that constantly since the 50s.
We're no better than the shit that they're doing.
But really, and Iran included, that's why we have so many enemies in the Middle East.
Yep.
Because we can't keep our nose out of everybody else's business.
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, it doesn't even have to do with the country. In Iran's case, it was they have a democracy. They had a democratically elected prime minister. And back in the 50s, we were yeah, that's cool and all, but there's this guy who says he wants to take over, and he's going to let us basically post a bunch of people there and spy on Russia. So you got to go.
Yeah.
So, it's just, we've created a lot of our own messes.
Oh, yeah. And this whole thing where, he had so many plans to make all these attacks on U.S. citizens and U.S. diplomats in Iraq and other places, Saudi Arabia and all this kind of stuff. Which, I'm sure that's classified information if that's true.
Right.
But it's not classified anymore because you're saying that's the reason you did it. Release that information since what's the point of keeping it classified if you're fucking putting it out there?
Well, and that's the other really messed up thing. So
give me some fucking proof.
That's the really other messed up thing about this is Iran and US are basically the two countries with the most interests in the current Iraqi government.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost two divorced parents that are just bickering back and forth over their child.
Yeah.
How the child should be raised and what the child should be doing and everything. It's so ridiculous too.
Yeah.
And it's constantly doing things to slight each other. And that's been going on for a long time, but we were actually kind of getting to a place where, we were actually making some progress towards actually being okay with Iran again.
Mm-hmm.
There was some real steps that had been taken. you know, if tensions were like what they always were, like what they were in the 80s, especially like late 70s, early 80s, there was actually even like a whole hostage situation, like in 80, I think it was.
Yeah.
But if tensions were still like that, yeah, there would have been no chance that we would have even had that nuclear deal to begin with.
Oh yeah, one of Trump's reasons was because one of the reasons that he spouted off and went on a rant about was because of hostages from 40 fucking years ago.
Well, not
40 years ago.
Not to mention, he's also claimed, oh, well, I was just trying to pull out of the deal in the first place, you know, like forever ago.
Yeah.
It's like I was just trying to pull out of it in the first place to pressure them to be able to make a new deal where they didn't make any of these regional militias or anything like that either.
I'm sure he didn't put that much thought into it.
It's like that's dumb.
Yeah.
Like
he put more thought into that lie than the strategy of pulling out.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like things were going well. Like the entire point was like, hey, we've got a good step in the right direction. Like you keep building on that, and then you can actually start, you know, stymieing that whole fighting urge. Like, because it shouldn't be about like trying to oust them or best them or be like the prominent like shaper of how Iraq sees everything. Like that's why we have all these problems, because we keep trying to force ourselves on these countries.
Yeah.
And these countries reject it.
Yeah, and then this whole pulling out thing, like I think we're kind of giving him too much credit of thinking of all this stuff, but it all boils down to Obama was the one that put that deal in.
Oh yeah, and absolutely.
Because Obama did it, we got to get rid of everything that Obama did. It's a fucking
guaranteed.
childish game. That's all it is. Like this is fucking preschool, fucking child logic.
Oh yeah. And I mean, like, even when you look at the history of like the kind of back and forth beforehand between like Soleimani and Trump, like, I mean, it just seems so childish.
Yeah. Yeah. And throwing some numbers out there, like I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I'm going off of memory.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like, oh well, this guy's killed 100, 200 something military personnel from the US or killed 100 US, something like that. It was like a number like that, which isn't cool. Like I'm fucking totally against war and everything. I've gone over that in a previous episode before, right. And why. But like, fucking look back on shit. Like, okay, well, Bush sent all these troops over. We lost fucking 4,500 troops.
Mm-hmm.
With that whole shit since Bush sent us off after 9/11 and everything, which by the way, 9/11 was an inside job. So, I mean,
I can still believe that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. The other thing, I mean, kind of touching on that a little bit, is that the timing of this, like, it almost just feels like the whole reason behind all of this stuff coming to a head, like when it has, is like, oh, well, Trump feels threatened, like he's in trouble because of this whole impeachment thing and everything else. And so he's just using this as a ploy to try and distract or possibly just supersede it entirely.
Oh, so he can get reelected.
And almost undoubtedly, he's going to try and spin this into like an actual full-blown war just so that he can get reelected, because you don't change presidents in wartime.
Oh, I mean, I hope that is different this time around.
Well, I hope that's different this time around, but it definitely feels like that's the play he's trying to make. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he even accused Obama of Obama, he's going to totally do this. Like, watch.
In 2011, he's saying the exact shit that he is doing now.
And it's not that Obama ever attacked Iran, but like Trump was like all about like, oh yeah, you just watch, like Obama's going to attack Iran any day now so he can get reelected.
Yep. It's just Trump criticizing Trump.
Yeah, it's so insane. And it really is. Like it's like a whole thing that I saw, like, narcissists like reveal who they really are by projecting on other people.
Yep.
And it's so true. Like, nobody thinks like this. Nobody thinks that that's what he would be doing. But since that's what you would be doing, you think, oh, well, obviously this is what he's going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I don't know if you saw any of the articles about Christians, evangelicals in particular, that whole part of the country that they're flocking to fucking Trump's support. What? Like come the fuck on.
I don't even see how. It's so ridiculous. Like, it's so against what any kind of Christian ideal should be.
Yeah. But they have it in their head that this is okay because it's somebody from another religion. It's fucking a Muslim.
Yeah, I mean, it was understood in the Bible that when God said "Thou shalt not kill," He meant, anybody that's like you.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't follow me, like you gotta you make sure you kill them for me, because if people don't worship me, they deserve to die. That's what Jesus said, right?
Oh yeah, totally. You got to read between the lines. Though.
Yeah,
it's really subtle.
Oh yeah, you got to make up shit. Oh, kind of like the Bible, the whole thing's made up.
But it's like at least stick to your thing. Like
yeah. Oh man.
I don't know. It's just it's ridiculous. Like I don't get how people can continue to support this kind of stuff. Like it's so insanely hypocritical.
Yeah. What he said on Monday. I was watching a recording of him talking. It wasn't just a tweet or anything edited. Like this was him actually talking. Was that he was bringing our troops back home from Syria on Monday. He was saying this on Monday. We're bringing them all back. And well, what was it? Whenever this the attack happened, over the weekend, what day was it?
It was actually on Tuesday. I think.
Tuesday, yeah. It was like the next day.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, maybe it was on the 2nd, Thursday, maybe.
Well, I mean, Tuesday was the U.S. Embassy attack.
Oh, okay.
That the missile attack was then in response to.
Oh, okay. So, and then we send off 3,500 troops. Like a lot of Fort Bragg is gone now.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the troops that were at Fort Bragg, they're deployed now, and among others, I don't know who all got deployed. I don't know all that. But yeah, fucking, and they're like, oh, this was a surprise. We didn't even get to say goodbye to everybody. Well, just so you know, and the information's out there, but this was approved a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was approved a month ago. Like, this isn't a spur of the moment. Yes, it's a surprise to you. Yes, it's a surprise to the soldiers that are getting deployed. Probably their officers and everything, but
oh yeah, like for the month ago approval, I mean, you got to be like at the top to have known that. I'm sure.
Yeah, but the president and the dozen GOP senators that they're the only people that know because they kept everybody out of it. This isn't a bipartisan decision. This is a fucking GOP decision.
Handful of the top brass at the Pentagon.
Oh yeah,
who has since started quitting in droves.
Oh yeah, everybody quit. Like all these people have quit in the past fucking
probably about 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, past 2 weeks because nobody wanted to go with this order, so they retired or just quit.
Yeah, I mean it's insane.
Like they didn't want to be a part of this, whether they were like firsthand involved in it or anything. Like they did not want to be a part of this. I fully believe that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this may be a World War III, or they'll fucking call it something else. I mean, when I was over there, it was in Operation Enduring Freedom.
Right.
Whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. Like, come the fuck on. Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to sound inspirational.
Yeah.
And oh man, it's enduring freedom because what we're doing is the right thing and we're bringing freedom to all of these people.
Yeah, with missiles and fucking bullets. Yeah.
Right. We're bringing freedom. We're totally not bringing war and strife and, horrible death and dismemberment to everybody around them.
Yeah.
It's freedom from their bodies.
Fucking let God sort them out. Is that what they say? Fucking
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, it's insane, and you know, they're like, there's almost no way that you don't have collateral damage in these types of things.
Yeah. Okay, so I had sent you this information, but Iran is like comparable in population and economy to Germany.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's definitely not a small country.
Their major cities have millions of people in it. Their capital city has millions of people in it. Like this isn't Afghanistan. This isn't Iraq.
No. I mean, they're what, like top 20 economies in the world?
Yeah, top 20. I believe what I read was number 18. But I'm not going to commit to that. Top 20 definitely. Military, their military is top 15.
So I mean, yeah, like granted our military is better, but we also spend like insane amounts more money on our military than anybody else does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not like we'd be able to get out of that completely unscathed.
Yeah. Oh man, I got in an argument earlier. I was playing Black Desert Online, and people were talking about Iran and everything like that, and somebody was saying that he's like, I'm a soldier, I just got back from Syria, blah blah blah. Like we need to get rid of these guys. Like I'll go back out there, rah rah rah. I'm a soldier. Like I mean, most people that I knew talk like that were fucking idiots. Anyways, but
yeah.
Most people that were like good soldiers and proud to be soldiers weren't out there like trying to prove a point by like, oh well, I know better than you because I'm a soldier.
Well, and see, that's the thing that I think it's such a really weird misconception about. I mean, when you look at like, you know, say World War I, like a time when everybody thinks about it, it's like, oh, those soldiers were so manly out there, like doing all that and everything and blah, blah, blah. They didn't want to kill anybody.
No.
They weren't out there to kill people. I mean, hell, Christmas, they fucking sat down with the enemy, like had a party and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like that's something that actually happened. They were like, you know, fuck all this shit. Like, it's Christmas. We don't want to kill anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. No, people are like, oh, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go kill me some Muslims and shit like that. Like you're seeing all this shit all over the internet. I don't know how much of it is bots and I don't know how much of it is real stupid fucking people, but like it's out there. Like people were not seeing through all this fucking charades and fucking lies and misconceptions and everything.
But it's like, yeah, there are people out there that are soldiers that just really love killing people, but they're not the normal.
No.
And that isn't normal.
No.
Like the military does love its psychopaths because they're people that they don't even have to think about if they're going to question killing somebody.
Yeah.
They just let them loose and let them do their thing.
You don't have to be smart.
But that also kind of brings a bad rap on, you know, people coming home and stuff.
Yeah, it really does.
Those people weren't adjusted to society before they left.
No.
And then once they kind of got to let loose, I mean, they're not going to be the same again.
Yeah.
But, you know, everybody gets a bad rap about it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would swear, like, a lot of these guys never wanted to kill anybody in the first place.
Yeah.
The vast majority, I would even say.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't join to kill people. I joined to get a paycheck.
And I mean,
like I couldn't get a job at the time.
I mean, even the ones that, you know, they do what they have to. I mean, and sometimes that breaks somebody. Like it absolutely can.
Yeah.
But you know, like generally they aren't the ones that are going off on killing sprees once they get home.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They're the ones that sadly end up at suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Due to over medication or under medication, and definitely under therapy.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, war is not a good thing. And then if we go into a war, we're sending fucking people over there. We're sending more people over there after. Oh, we got to get our boys home. We got to get our girls home. We got to get them all home for back to their families. Oh nope, you get to stay. No, you get to keep going.
Yeah,
we're sending everybody out, no warning. You don't get to say goodbye to your family or anything like that. Just fucking go.
Like,
These are the people that you're voting for.
I mean, and at some point, if we're ever going to progress as a human race, we have got to figure out a better way than war.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're going to put trillions of dollars into fucking fighting people, killing people. You evangelicals out there, you Christians out there, how can you support this? How can you support killing? But, we don't have money. At the same time, we don't have money for healthcare. We don't have money for housing. We don't have money for fucking food. We don't have money for kids to go to school and eat at school. But we could spend trillions to go kill people. How, as a Christian, how, as an evangelical, can you support that? Like, It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. And I'm absolutely just appalled at the people in this country that are like that. Yeah, I'm appalled with the people in the world that are like that.
Oh yeah,
like you're hypocrites. All of you are hypocrites.
Although I don't know if there's anything that's maybe just a slight glint of a silver lining. Just today, actually, some of the Iranian leadership had released like a statement, basically referring to like several of Trump's properties.
Yeah,
and more or less just saying like, hey, our beef isn't with America's people or anything. Like our beef is with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And basically insinuating that, like their retaliation would be against Trump's properties. Okay. That being said, that's still not great.
No, it's not. Because people are going to die. There
would still be a lot of collateral there. Like there's no way to avoid that, especially when you look at some of these properties. I mean, Trump Tower, like in New York, like he's got buildings in like Las Vegas. Like, I mean, like innocent people that have nothing to do with it would still die.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't even it probably wouldn't even affect Trump. He would probably collect an insurance check.
I don't know. My only hope is that his ego would get in the way and that would be enough of a deterrent for him to stop it from happening. Because I don't think his ego could survive like having all of his stuff blown up. Or at least that's my hope.
I think that he'd make money off. He'd find some way to make money off of it if it's not already set in place already. I think his greed goes deeper than his vanity there.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just hoping. I am hoping beyond hope that his vanity wins out in that fight.
But I do see that his vanity winning out in that fight and retaliation being, he just sees red, and retaliation is all he wants to do, not backing down. Because I mean, what these people that are voting for him, the people that are supporting him and arguing with people that are trying to get common sense through to him, are like, oh well, see, this is what I'm talking about. He doesn't back down from a fight. Like he's going full force into him. Like he's gonna appease those people, because those are the people that are praising him, and that's where. I mean, I just vanity can be a big part of that, and it could go the opposite direction of what you're thinking.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever way that greed works, like it's not going to help.
I know.
I mean, because greed, same thing. Like either he gets in such a situation where he's like, no, like I'm going to keep everything that I've got, and he retaliates for that, or else he just like goes on anyway because screw it, like stuff blows up and I just get insurance from it.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever way it goes, like I don't think he's even capable of diffusing the situation.
Yeah. And shit, what if it's another fucking 9/11 and they it's another inside job and they collect the shit out of some insurance money and fuck all the people that died. Oh, and then this gives us more reason to go to war because they blew up our stuff in our country.
I mean, that's not the way I see it. The way I see it, it's more reason to get the fuck rid of him.
Oh, I know. But I mean
he has become a serious liability at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's not even about like, oh, well, he just doesn't do things right, or like, he's doing this and screwing up relations with this, that, or everything else. He's seriously becoming a threat to this country.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with you. I'm not saying that you're wrong on that at all. I'm just saying that shit could really hit the fan there, and it could be another 9/11.
I mean, it's. I'm not saying that it's not possible. It's absolutely possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's just speculation.
And that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. Yeah. All because fucking dipshit can't negotiate. Like he really can't negotiate.
Well, I mean, the problem is he's a child.
Yeah. And he's on a world platform with people that know what the fuck they're doing. And he's had his hand held his whole life.
Yeah.
Shit. Did you see the one of the guys that was killed with Soleimani was a money launderer.
Oh yeah.
Who was doing deals with the Trump the Trump organization to build another tower, or to build another building, or something like that. And this guy has direct ties to the Trump organization. Nobody wanted to do business with him whenever he came to America, and the Trump organization was the only people that wanted to do business with him
because Trump has no scruples.
And
like, if it'll bring him money, he doesn't care who it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's another red flag there. I mean, a money launderer directly tied to the Trump organization was also killed in this attack. Well, it was an assassination. It wasn't a military strategic attack, or I don't think so. I believe it was just an assassination. I mean, for us to go to war to funnel more money into that.
I mean, sadly, at a certain point, it's hard to even say who Trump wanted to kill in the first place, and who was actually just kind of there.
Was he trying to tie up loose ends?
Who knows?
So.
I mean, maybe he was trying to tie up loose ends. Maybe he was trying to take out Soleimani. Maybe he was trying to take out the head of the whatever they were called, like the Iranian militia force that Soleimani was heading up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they said that they're going to be running around with their heads cut off, like chickens with their heads cut off. No, they replaced Soleimani with his deputy within hours. Like
like any reasonable actual military would do.
Like people believe that it's just militias and stuff over there. Like, no, Iran is a serious world power.
Well, and granted, they do have a lot of regional militias that they've done in all kinds of other countries.
Yeah.
But that's basically their way of still influencing these countries.
Yeah.
Without just invading them.
Yeah. So our gas is going to go up in price. It already started. Or at least oil has gone up in price. We're going to be affected by it. I know it. Yeah. I don't know. It's a really shitty situation for everybody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's incredibly shitty. I mean, it's a situation we never should have been in the first place. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. They're like, oh, if Iran won't be able to withstand going to war with us, because we're going to do embargoes and they're not going to blah, blah, blah. Their economy's going to crash. You sure? Are you sure about that? You sure our economy's not going to crash for the majority of us whenever we funnel trillions more into the military and fuck all the civilians?
Well, more importantly, if you take away everything else they have, what choice do they have but to fight?
Yeah.
Tooth and nail with everything they have.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anything else.
Yeah.
What happens when other countries join in with them?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when, nobody wants to actually help us because you've already alienated them all?
Yeah. Yeah. What the fucking UK found out that this happened through the news?
Jeez.
Some shit like that. We didn't let our allies know.
I mean, at this point,
just like Syria.
At this point, I think as far as Trump's concerned, we don't even have allies.
Yeah. Well, this motherfucker said his official, his tweets are now they're considered, or they are him addressing the Congress. This ridiculous. Yeah, what? I'm baffled by that. Who support? This is a child's temper tantrum, and he's wanting to do things his way rather than the right way. People were upset about Hillary's emails. What about buttery emails? Or buttery mails. But
those buttery males.
Yeah. But this motherfucker is putting classified information on a social media platform.
Oh yeah. I mean, you talk about a security risk. He's a walking security risk.
He's using a non-approved phone to do everything on. Like, it's the exact same thing that they were bitching about with Hillary. Like,
well, at the same time, nobody would bother hacking his phone because they don't need to.
No. He
like, anything that's on his phone is publicly available anyway when he says it on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. How the fuck did we get here?
A lot of people that don't know any better. A lot of people that were taken advantage of.
Yeah. That really is. Man, I mean to hate I hate to hate on those people, you know, but I mean
in a lot of cases, it's just that they felt a certain way and Trump swept in and basically took advantage of it. Like, yeah. He basically promised them a bunch of stuff he was never going to give them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in some cases, he appealed to people's darker sides that, normal society doesn't accept anymore. And they just kind of felt like, oh, well, I finally have a place that I can be accepted. Yeah. And so they went full bore into it.
Oh, yeah.
Not that they should be accepted because, seriously, like all that racism and just hatred for other people, it doesn't have place in modern society. No. And it needs to die out.
It really does. I remember.
And I don't have anything against those people, but they need to understand that that's not okay.
Yeah. I had somebody try to give me a history lesson on politics in America and how the turning point to where everybody started being nasty with each other was in the 90s when Hillary started saying nasty things about Republicans and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Well, okay, so she said a bad word, so I gotta say a bad word too.
John C. Calhoun beat somebody with a cane.
Yeah.
In Congress. like to think that started in the 90s, that's just ignorant.
Yeah. Yeah. But that mentality, like, oh, it's nasty. Like, Republicans are only nasty because the Democrats got nasty.
Like, they've both been shit to each other for as long as they've been around.
Like, that's fucking school playground mentality. Like come on. Like, oh, she was mean to me, so I'm going to be mean to her. Come the fuck on. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
But seriously, they've been like that since they were each other's party.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know it.
It's so ridiculous. And seriously, at some point, somebody, like some party, some big group needs to just take over and just be like, you know what? Enough of this. This is ridiculous. This is silly. And we need to just stop this.
Hey, I think all these progressive politicians and hopefully more to come. I hope a lot of people get inspired for public service and everything because of the shit storm this country is now. I hope a lot of people get motivated to fucking create a progressive party and fucking the people that are in office now, like, be leaders of that party and we'll have a progressive party that's fucking looking at the entire picture, not just fucking one side.
I would agree with that on one condition. That this party is only a hypothetical party.
Yeah, exactly.
And that they don't have any kind of actual central agenda.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm not meaning like a Democrat party, Republican party. Like, we need to get rid of the parties. Like, we need to vote on people for fucking their politics, their stance on stuff, like
their opinions, their values.
Yeah, not because, oh, well, I always vote Republican, so I'm going to vote Republican even if it fucks me, whether I know it or not. Because if you just vote Republican because you vote Republican, like, you're saying you have no opinion.
I mean, essentially.
You're saying that you're ignorant to everything that's going on.
And it's the same both ways, Republican or Democrat.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can't just vote the party because, oh, well, that's my party, so that's what I vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. Look into it. Like, find out who the people you're voting for are.
It's really fucking easy, I promise you. It is so easy.
There are tons and tons of sites nowadays that are dedicated to that.
Everything from very local politics to the federal stage.
Absolutely.
The national stage.
Absolutely. I mean, and these days, like, the information is readily available. Even if you don't have internet, which anybody listening to this has some kind of access to internet somehow. But even if you don't have internet, like, internet is available in places.
Yeah. Library.
Like, you can go to the library and do any research that you need to.
Another socialist program.
Even though a lot of people are trying to get rid of that kind of thing, they still exist despite it.
Oh yeah, and I will tell you this, that this guy Trump, his GOP members, Lindsey Graham, like, they want to take libraries away because they want us to be stupid so they can control us.
I mean, there's no other reason to get rid of the idea of libraries. Like, libraries existed and only ever have existed for the proliferation of knowledge amongst the public.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that's what fucking Hitler did. Hitler was trying to get rid of knowledge. Why do you think there's all those pictures of them burning books in the street?
I mean, if you want to be a totalitarian, if you want to, like, have an easily controlled population, you keep them dumb.
Yep.
You control everything that they understand, like state-run newspapers.
Mm-hmm. Educate yourself.
I mean, look through history. Like, it's happened over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, it's happening currently in places that you would call shitholes.
Yep. Educate yourself. Don't vote blindly. Don't just say shit blindly. Like, look this shit up, man. Like, come on. But anyways, I think that's all we got today. I got very heated. My ears are really hot right now. No. Shit's crazy, and we got to stop it somehow. Like, through proper means. I'm not saying go out, do anything violent or anything like that. Like, there's proper means to handle things.
Well, and that's the thing. Violence begets violence.
Yeah.
Like, you can't solve violence with violence.
Yep. Like, especially you evangelicals, you Christians out there. Like, instead of continuing to go with this shit, like, why don't you think of peaceful solutions and stop following the people that are looking for violent solutions?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what Jesus would want, right?
I mean, like, every story I've ever read about Jesus was all about that whole turn the cheek.
Yeah. Let him strike you again.
Like, I'm pretty sure never once in any of the Gospels was Jesus like, nah, you know what? He deserves it. Hit him.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he didn't say pull out your fucking AK-47 or your fucking M14. No, he said put that sword away, man. Put that sword away. What, Peter or Judas or whoever the fuck it was, you know? He said put that shit away. Like, let him take me. Like, it's going to happen.
I mean, it's like one of the central tenets of their entire faith.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, let's kill people because they're Muslim. Yeah. Let's kill people because they're bad people. Okay. Your version of bad people is they consider some of us bad people.
Oh, absolutely. And in a lot of cases, I'd say they're right.
Yeah. There's bad people on both sides. And definitely if you want to follow with what the book says and everything, you should probably stick with the good people, not the bad people, because you're kind of going down to bad people. Going to get left behind. What was that a book? Fucking movie? Something?
Whole book series and then movies.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that started in the 80s, not in the
Cameron.
Bible. that was a theory that came out and started being taught about the what was it, you float away and
the rapture.
The rapture, yeah. By the way, that started in the 80s. I believe it was the 80s. So yeah, that's not
that sounds about right.
So have fun. with that. But yeah, we'll be going now. I'm just going to keep rambling.
That's okay. Even after we cut this off, we'll still be talking about it for an hour at least.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for listening. This is our first regular episode after our New Year's episode for 2020. Back on track. We did not get that episode out that we said. We will eventually get that out. It's it's non-topical, or it's right, not time sensitive.
Right.
So it will come. We got backlog for whenever we can't record and stuff like that. So we won't be going big breaks at a time anymore, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. We've got at least a little bit to work with for a while, so.
Yeah. And hope you join us next time when we have something more to podcast.